Hey guys, and welcome to another GBHL video. This is the first video that I've done 2017, so that's quite exciting. I'm looking forward to a really fulfilling year in the hobby. I've got a lot of stuff planned with the Scouring of Cheshire 2017 coming up, and other things that hopefully are in the pipeline. Very, very busy at work at the moment, which is why you've seen a lot less of me of late. But I'm hoping to change that as soon as I can. What I'm going to be doing today is going to be an unboxing. We're going to be unboxing some of the cool stuff that was released at the Warhammer World Open Day. I personally wasn't able to go. I didn't get a ticket in time. I didn't realise it was tickets, and then by the time I realised that I needed to get a ticket, it was too late. They'd sold out, obviously. But yeah, I got my pal, Mr. J Finnegan of Guild Ball Informer, to pick me up some bits and bobs, and I was supporting my Hobbit hobby, as I hope everybody else is. So what we're going to look at today is the Ogres. There's two poses, as you can see, and I think the way that I'll do this unboxing is we'll put them in front of the camera. I'll unbox them on the camera, have a talk about the poses and the cast and what I think of them, and then we'll come back sort of on this side of the camera and yeah, we can talk about the profile very briefly and where and how I'm going to be using these. I did plan on doing some of these unboxings with James, but unfortunately, due to my fault, well, not my fault, I had a poorly 2-year-old. It is now 10 o'clock in the evening. I just thought it'd be a good idea to get these out rather than wait, because I'm not sure. I'll be seeing James at the weekend, but I don't think we'll get time to film unboxings, and I may be taking these with me to Preston, so I'm hoping maybe if I do decide to take Gundabad to get them painted, I don't want to rush them, so we'll see how we go. But I'll put these in front of the camera, get more close-ups, and we'll come back in a second. Okay guys, so here we are, we have the Ogres. This is pose number 2, as you can see in the blister. Now I'm not going to open pose number 2 because I've had a quick look, and as far as the way they're designed, the skin textures and things are very, very similar. So what I'll do is I'm just going to open one and we can take a look. I've already cut the blister. So it comes in, well, you've got 3 sprues. So your first sprue is the head and the club. Let's try and get a good shot. There you go. So there's a lot of detail, as you can see. It's full of detail. The wrinkles in the head, the teeth, the ears. Now I'm not too sure. I'll try and get it close up. But it does seem to have texture on the skin as well. I don't know if that's coming out on camera, or how well it will be coming out. But there is texture on the skin, which is really awesome. It just looks amazing, and I was quite surprised at, let's get this color out. I was quite surprised at the size of them, because I've seen these on display. I think it was at Ardacon. Now that you can see the texture on the skin, can you see it? It's almost scaly, which is nice. That's really, really going to help you when you're painting. You know, someone like me who's, you know, I like to take my time when I can, but I just very rarely get the chance to. And you know, you're paying the amount that you're paying for these models, you want them to look good. So adding texture to them rather than just being flat resin really helps you get a good detail, and I really like those. They're really, really cool. And as I was saying, yeah, I've seen these on display excuse me, and they didn't look that big, but now I've got them in hand. They're huge. They are, let's have a guess, let's have a think. They're probably not too far off the size of your standard Lord of the Rings trolls, to be fair. So that's the body. As you can see, he's got a lot of again, the scaling on the skin. See if I can get that to pick up. Little warts here and there, little creases. Can you see the creases at the side of the belly? Yeah, and the folds. It's awesome, awesome. A little bit of flash here and there, but you'd expect that. This stuff's a lot easier to clean up than fine cast. Now the back there, you can definitely see the texture. Can you see it? And just the work on the leather and the rope on the leather, it's just immense. I am loving these. I cannot wait to get paint on them. Now just bear with me a second, because I have got a troll to hand, so I'm just going to offer it up and see what the size difference is. Let's have a look. So if we just move that out of the way a minute. There we go. So I've got an Isengard troll there. And then obviously he's not put together. But yeah, there's not a massive difference. Height-wise, fairly similar. Fairly similar, which is quite interesting. The Troll Chieftain, he's a lot bulkier. Obviously he's got armour on, but he looks a lot bulkier. So yeah, he's slightly smaller. The Ogres are slightly smaller. Again, I didn't see that. I didn't notice that as much when I see him on display. They looked a lot smaller. I don't know why that was. And then obviously you get your base with a lot of the new releases. Bases you kind of get like a scenic base, but you don't get that with these, which is fine. I think these guys, you know, they're going to look cool on anything. I'm probably just going to sand and put a few rocks on his base and finish it off. I'll try and get, let's have a look, size. I think that might be, yeah, that's a 50mm base, that is. So they're on a 50mm base, which again is interesting. But yeah, so that's the troll, oh sorry, ogre pose number 1. 3 sprues. That's him put together and painted, which looks amazing. I'm not going to get anywhere near the quality of that, but I'm going to try my damnedest. It does look to me there, I think with this, that an airbrush would be the way forward with these guys, for me personally anyway. And then finish off with a brush. And then obviously on the inside of the card insert you've got the instructions, which are fairly self-explanatory to be fair, on how to put them together. Like I said before, pose number 2 is this pose, and again it's the only difference with this is you do get a scenic base with pose number 2, or it's not a scenic base, you get a piece, you can see it there, you get a dead dwarf, which is really cool. It looks cool, which as the pose shows on the packaging he's standing on top of. So again, you can choose whether you put that on or not. It's not sort of attached to the leg. You could just put a rock there, because they're not always going to be fighting dwarves, are they? But yeah. So again, the detail on the skin and the texture is very good. You can really see that well on that one. And I'm very impressed. Really glad that I picked them up. The price tag, they're not cheap, but you know, it's the individual thing of whether you think it's worth it or not. They are on the more expensive side. For me, I wanted them. I would have liked to have 4 of them for a larger army, but at this moment in time 2 is more than enough. So yeah, so that's the actual sprues and the ogres themselves. And yeah, I know we've covered it before, but let's have a little chat about the profile. So that's the poses, guys. Really cool, love them, really like them. They're one of them models that quite surprise you actually. I mean, I really like the poses, I really like the sort of pictures that we've seen. The first time we seen them we got a picture of a foot, and I really wanted them in my army. That we've been waiting for these new releases, these things from the movies that we never got, that we were always waiting for. So I was over the moon, excuse me, when they came out, and I couldn't wait to get them. But when you actually get them in your hand, I've tried to show best I can on camera, the detail on the skin and the texturing is immense. They've done an amazing job. So we go to our trusty book. The profile itself, points wise, not too bad. Not too bad really. For a 3 wound, 3 attack, it is a monster, so you're going to get your brutal power attacks. They also get the relentless advance rule, which means that they can basically just walk through their own troops. Them troops have to, or even heroes, I assume. Or they can walk through friendly orcs, goblins and warbats. So if it's an orc, a goblin or a warbat, whether it's like infantry or hero, that's fine, they can walk through them. They have to take a strength 3 hit. If the ogre itself stops actually on top of one of those, they're removed as a casualty. Again, there's going to have to be an FAQ as to whether how that works with a hero or with a multi-wound model. Would they be removed from play, or do they take a hit and are moved? I'm not too sure how that would work. Yeah, that's quite interesting. But yeah, they've got the high fight value, decent strength, fairly decent defence, standard really for what it is, and a fairly low courage. Really, I don't know, maybe I would have said that the courage for me might have been a little bit higher, but it's not a biggie. They also cause terror, which is interesting, which means that it's going to be hard to surround them. And with a 3-wound model, you really need to get the wounds in quick if you want to get rid of it, because that is just going to wreak havoc. And at the points value that it is, you can have multiples in your force, and it's not really going to be a big chunk of your points. Don't get me wrong, they're not uber cheap by any stretch of the imagination, but I'd like to think that I could probably fit 2 in at 600 and still have a fairly decent force. You know, if you start putting your Azogs and your Bolgs in, then that's a totally different story. But if you wanted just to go for like I don't know, a splinter force of Azog's Legion or whatever that didn't have Azog actually in the force, or Bolg, and was led by captains or Keeper of the Dungeons and such, and you're keeping your points down that way, then these guys definitely need to be in that force. They're going to give your opponent something to think about. And again, if you've got multiples, you're making them make a choice, especially if they've only got one caster. Who are they going to immobilise? Are they going to immobilise one of your ogres? Are they going to immobilise whoever your leader is, Keeper of the Dungeons, or you know, a couple of kitted out captains? You're going to give them something to think about. So this, I'm not going to go too much more into it because we've covered a lot of the profiles before. I just wanted to refresh my own memory, really. I hope you like this format of the unboxing. If you do, let me know. And I do have a couple more new stuffs that I don't mind unboxing for you guys on camera. I don't want to monopolise all unboxings of the new stuff, because I know that some of the other GBHL hosts would like to do it, and I think it's nice to have a mix of us, you know, each doing maybe one aspect of new releases and such. But again, I don't know what the other guys have picked up or whether they are going to pick up the new stuff. I've got one of everything, so I don't mind doing it. So let me know what you think. Let me know if you prefer just the camera down talking about the model and the way it's put together and the pose and stuff, or if you like a bit of a more in-depth talking about the profile and things like that tied into it, and we'll see what we can do. Alright guys, excuse me, I've just had a lot of pastry, I've got major heartburn. Comment, like, share and subscribe below. Support your Hobbit hosts also below. Follow us on Twitter and like us on Facebook. Support your Hobbit hobby, and happy strategy battle gaming.